Hello, in this tutorial I'm going to show how to create a forced camera for the driver, and we're going to use this track as an example. So we're going to go into Media Tracker, go to In-Game. Now I've already validated the track, so I have a ghost that I can work with. So I'm going to set a trigger. It automatically opens up the first trigger here. So I'm going to set a trigger for the start line. We're going to go ahead and click here, which closes out the trigger, and now I'm going to add a track for this trigger, and we're going to choose custom camera. Now the first keyframe here is selected, and what the keyframes do is basically they say at this point the camera is going to be here, and I can move it to wherever I want. I'm using the arrow keys and the right mouse button and up and down, and page up and page down as well. So let's set the camera over here, and I'm going to stretch this keyframe out to the end of the track. So it's going to be, I'm going to move this over. Gotta find where the ghost ends. Oh, there it is, right there. So it's right about in there. So we just set it right about there. So the camera is going to go from here over to here. Now it's not actually following the car, so what we need to do is set the target to be local player for both of these keyframes. Alright, so now it's going to actually follow the car. Now you can't hardly see the car there, so what we're going to do is set some other keyframes. So I'm going to go set one like here maybe. So we'll set add a key, and now that that key is selected, we can move the camera where we want it. You can zoom in and out. So I'm going to just move it up so you can see past the border. I'm going to let it go a little further. Now this one I want to be a little bit further out. Oops, I'm going to add another key here. And we'll be right about there. And then maybe a key right here. Now the other thing you want to do is uncheck stop when player respawns, because if the player respawns, the camera is just going to it's going to switch to the regular player camera, and you don't want that to happen. You want the player to continue with this camera. Alright, so let's see how it is to play the track. I'm going to leave here. I'm going to say validate. Now it's going to start with this camera. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay, and then around and finish. If we try again with respawns, let's see how that works. And of course, it's going to get further and further away if I respawn, but it's still targeting the car, so you can still see it. If the track is really, really long, you could set up multiple triggers and have it trigger at the next checkpoint. And then it will just keep centering on the next part of the map, and you can have different cameras throughout the whole map. By the way, this is the exact same way you would create a end race camera as well, but we're just doing it for the end game here. The other thing is, if you want to have a camera for above the track, let's say a top-down view, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to create a trigger. Then if you want to have a top-down view, I'm just going to move the camera here like this. Now you could adjust some properties here to get it even more exact, but we're going to just go, I don't know, right about there like that. We could even have it showing forward slightly. Actually, no, let's just do completely top-down for this. It will stay completely like that, and we can say anchor to local player. Same thing, stop and play respawns, remove that. And then you'll want to copy the properties from the first keyframe to the second one. Control C, Control V. And now it's going to be centered on the car. So you can go back out, validate. As soon as it starts, you're going to have a top-down view of the whole map. Even if we respawn. Let's try respawning at the next one. Do a flying respawn or a static, and it still stays with that camera. So that's just a quick tutorial on how to set up different cameras. Have fun!